All right, so I know a lot of you out there have been hearing about this whole cinnamon in your coffee thing for weight loss.
Right.
And we thought it would be fun to kind of dive into that today.
Absolutely.
We've got some interesting material from a Times of India article called Cinnamon Benefits. Can a dash of cinnamon in your coffee speed up belly fat loss?
Yeah.
And then we've also got an article called How Much Cinnamon in Coffee for Weight Loss?
Sounds delicious already.
It does sound pretty tasty.
Yeah.
But I think before we get into the weight loss aspect of it all, it might be good to just take a step back and be like, what even is cinnamon?
That's a great place to start.
Yeah.
I think people are so used to just grabbing spices off the rack that we don't even think about where did these things come from.
Right.
And cinnamon, it's actually bark from a tree, the cinnamon tree. And there are actually a couple different types of cinnamon that you'll see out there.
Really?
Yeah. So there's Ceylon cinnamon that's often labeled as true cinnamon.
Okay.
And then there's cassia cinnamon, which is actually what's more widely available.
So is that what I'm probably buying at the grocery store when I just pick up cinnamon?
Most likely, yeah, unless you're looking specifically for Ceylon cinnamon.
Okay.
But so that actually brings up a good point, is that there's a pretty significant difference between the two.
Okay. I'm intrigued now. What is it?
So Ceylon cinnamon is generally considered to be a little bit higher quality.
Okay.
It has a milder, sweeter flavor profile.
Okay.
But importantly, it also has a much lower coumarin content than cassia cinnamon.
Okay, now hold on. Coumarin, I feel like that's not something that the average person thinks about or even knows what it is.
Right. It's not something you see on food labels, really, but it's important to know.
Okay.
So coumarin is a naturally occurring compound that you find in a lot of plants.
Okay.
And in small amounts, it's not a big deal at all. In fact, it kind of lends itself to that aroma of cinnamon. But cassia cinnamon has a lot of it.
Okay.
And if you're consuming it a lot over a long period of time, that can actually lead to some liver damage.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's something to be aware of, especially if you have any liver conditions already.
So is it safe to say that if I'm thinking about making this like a regular habit,
Right.
that I should be looking for Ceylon cinnamon?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to go with Ceylon cinnamon if you're going to be doing this regularly.
Okay. Good to know.
And, kind of on that topic, there are some recommendations about how much cinnamon is good to use
Okay.
in your coffee, but we can get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, let's definitely get to that.
Yeah.
But first, I think, let's address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Can adding cinnamon to your coffee actually help you lose weight?
Right. The big question.
Yeah, what does the science say?
Well, it's promising, but it's not a miracle cure.
Okay.
Cinnamon can help regulate blood sugar, and that's kind of where the weight management piece comes in.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, you've said blood sugar regulation a couple times. Can you just give me a little bit more explanation on that? Like, what is blood sugar regulation, and how does that relate to weight?
Yeah, so when you eat, your blood sugar levels rise,
Okay.
and that triggers the release of insulin,
Uh-huh.
which is a hormone that helps your body use glucose for energy
Okay.
or store it for later.
Okay.
But if those blood sugar levels are constantly spiking and crashing,
Right.
then you tend to have more cravings, you get hungry more often, and you're likely to overeat.
So what you're saying is that cinnamon can help kind of even out those blood sugar levels.
Right, exactly.
And so then maybe you're not having those crazy cravings.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and when your blood sugar is more stable, you have more sustained energy throughout the day,
Okay.
which helps you make healthier choices and kind of avoid those energy dips that make you want to snack on unhealthy things.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So for someone who's like, oh, I get that 2 o'clock feeling and I reach for the candy bar,
Right.
maybe cinnamon could help kind of break that cycle.
Potentially. Yeah, it's definitely something to try.
Okay.
But I do want to add a little caveat there, which is that the effect of cinnamon on blood sugar is likely to be modest.
Okay.
It's not going to magically make you, stop craving things or, it's not a weight loss miracle.
Gotcha. So it's just one thing that you can do
Right.
along with a healthy diet and exercise.
Yeah, one piece of the puzzle
Okay.
in a bigger picture.
Perfect. All right. Well, now I'm curious. You mentioned insulin sensitivity earlier. Can you just tell me a little bit more about that? What is it and why should we care?
So insulin sensitivity refers to how efficiently your body responds to insulin.
Okay.
So when you have good insulin sensitivity, your cells are really good at absorbing glucose from the bloodstream,
Fine.
using it for energy or storing it appropriately.
Okay.
But when your insulin sensitivity declines, your body basically becomes less efficient at processing that glucose.
Okay.
And that can lead to a condition called insulin resistance.
Oh.
And that's often linked to weight gain and other metabolic problems.
So improving your insulin sensitivity is good for you in general,
Yes, definitely.
not just for weight loss.
Not just for weight loss.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. And there is some evidence that cinnamon might help improve insulin sensitivity,
Okay.
but we need more research to really understand how that works and what the long-term effects are.
Okay. So we've got blood sugar regulation,
Right.
and then we might have some improvement in insulin sensitivity. Are there any other ways that cinnamon might contribute to weight loss?
Yeah, so there have been some studies that suggest that cinnamon has a slight thermogenic effect,
Okay. So,
meaning it can slightly increase your calorie burn.
like, I'm not going to be sweating after drinking my cinnamon coffee.
Right, no, not that kind of thermogenic effect. Very subtle. But, again, it's not a magic bullet. It's about these small changes that kind of add up.
Right. It all contributes.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's say I'm sold. I want to try this. How much cinnamon should I actually be adding to my coffee?
That's a good question, and dosage is important. So 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon per cup of coffee is a good starting point. You can adjust it based on your taste and also the type of cinnamon you're using.
Right, because we were talking about Ceylon versus Cassia.
Exactly. And remember, Ceylon is milder, so you might end up using a little bit more of that
Okay,
than you would Cassia.
gotcha. Are there any downsides to this? Like, is there such a thing as too much cinnamon?
Yeah, that's a good question, and especially thinking about the cassia cinnamon because of that coumarin content.
Right.
If you're having too much cinnamon, that can actually cause some problems over time for your liver.
Okay.
So I think it's always good to err on the side of caution and just kind of stay within that recommended dosage.
So listen to your body. If it tastes like you're drinking a spoonful of cinnamon, you might want to back off a little bit.
Exactly. Find that sweet spot where you're enjoying it and, reaping the potential benefits without overdoing it.
Well, this has been so interesting. I'm already thinking about all the different ways that I can start incorporating cinnamon into my routine.
Yeah, there's a lot to explore.
But we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back to talk about how to really make cinnamon coffee a truly beneficial part of your weight loss journey.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so we've talked about all of the basics about cinnamon and how it can potentially help with weight loss. So now I think it's time to get into some practical tips.
Right, how to actually use this stuff.
Yeah, like how do we actually work cinnamon coffee into a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, consistency is key.
Okay.
Rather than just thinking of this as a once-in-a-while treat, make it a regular part of your routine.
Okay.
That's how you're going to see those benefits over time.
Okay, so it's not just like I can eat whatever I want as long as I sprinkle cinnamon on my coffee.
Right, exactly. It has to be part of a bigger picture.
Yeah, a healthy lifestyle.
Of course, right.
Okay, what else?
Well, timing can also be important.
Okay.
Having cinnamon coffee in the morning can give you a nice little metabolic boost to start your day. Or you can have it in the afternoon when you're maybe feeling those cravings coming on,
Yeah.
or you're starting to feel that afternoon slump.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Because I know for me, like mid-afternoon, I'm reaching for something.
right.
So if I had a cinnamon coffee instead of a cookie, that would be a good thing.
Exactly.
Okay, good to know.
And then, of course, the quality of your ingredients matters.
Right.
You want to opt for organic, fresh coffee and cinnamon
Yeah.
to get the most flavor and benefits.
So not just the stuff that's been sitting on the shelf for a year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the kind of coffee?
Oh, yeah. Any kind of coffee that you like is fine.
Okay.
You want something high quality,
Okay.
but the type of roast or the brewing method, that's up to you.
Okay.
The important thing is that you enjoy it.
Right, because if you don't like it, you're not going to do it.
Exactly.
Now, I'm thinking we probably shouldn't be loading this up with sugary creamers and things like that.
Right, yeah. You don't want to add a bunch of extra sugar and calories.
Yeah. Defeats the purpose.
Exactly, yeah.
So keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Okay, now I'm curious. We focus so much on the weight loss side of things, but I know that you mentioned that there are some other health benefits of cinnamon. Can we talk about those a little bit?
Of course, yeah. So cinnamon actually has a whole range of benefits.
Okay.
It's really a nutritional powerhouse, and one of its standout qualities is its anti-inflammatory effects.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we know that inflammation is linked to a lot of different health issues.
Yeah.
So anything that you can do to combat that is a good thing.
That makes sense because we think so much about the outside. Like, oh, I want to lose weight.
Right.
But really, it's the stuff on the inside that matters.
Absolutely. It all starts from within.
Okay, so how does that work?
Yeah.
How does cinnamon have this anti-inflammatory effect?
So cinnamon is packed with antioxidants.
Okay.
And one in particular that's thought to be responsible for a lot of the benefits is called cinnamaldehyde.
Okay.
And basically, antioxidants help protect your cells from damage caused by free radicals, which are unstable molecules that can contribute to inflammation.
So cinnamon's like a little shield for your body.
Kind of, yeah. It helps protect you from that damage.
Okay, that's good to know. And I think you said something about cinnamon helping with digestion too.
That's right, yeah. So cinnamon can help with digestion.
Okay.
And that's important for overall well-being.
It all works together.
Yeah, and it can even indirectly help with weight management.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so a healthy gut can actually contribute to a healthy weight.
Good to know. And what about those antioxidants? I feel like that's something we hear a lot about, but I'm not really sure that I completely understand.
Right, well, basically, antioxidants are really important for overall health and longevity.
Okay.
They help protect against chronic diseases.
Okay.
They boost your immune system,
Wow.
and they even contribute to healthy aging.
So cinnamon's helping us live longer.
Well, it's contributing to a healthier life overall.
Okay.
So yeah, it can help.
Now, I read somewhere that cinnamon can actually help your brain.
Yeah, that's right. So there's been some research that suggests that cinnamon might be good for brain health and cognitive function.
Okay.
Some studies even suggest that it could help protect against neurodegenerative diseases.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
So it's like you're getting a double whammy with the coffee and the cinnamon?
Exactly. Coffee itself is really good for your brain.
Right.
So adding cinnamon to that is kind of like a bonus.
So we're losing weight, we're not inflamed, our digestion is good, our brains are working great. Is there anything else?
Well, I think we've covered the main benefits, but, it's important to remember that it's not just about relying on one single thing.
Right, it's about the whole picture.
Right. You want to make sure you're making healthy choices in other areas of your life.
Right, eating healthy,
Yeah.
exercising, all that good stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, well now I'm thinking, it's not just about the coffee. There's got to be other ways that we can incorporate this magical spice into our lives.
Oh, absolutely. Cinnamon has been used in traditional medicine and cooking for centuries in all sorts of different cultures. So yeah, it's not just for coffee.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, going back to that blood sugar regulating effect,
Okay,
you can sprinkle cinnamon on things like oatmeal or yogurt
okay,
to kind of help stabilize those blood sugar levels.
okay. That's a good one, especially for breakfast.
Exactly. Yeah, it can help prevent that mid-morning energy crash.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and then there are tons of savory dishes that can benefit from cinnamon.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Cinnamon in savory dishes. My brain's not going there.
I know it's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Right,
But think about like Moroccan tagines.
okay.
They have those blends of sweet and savory spices
Okay.
or Indian curries.
Wow.
Cinnamon adds a lot of depth and warmth to those dishes.
So it's like a background note.
Yeah, and even Mexican mole sauces use cinnamon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so you can experiment with adding a pinch to your chili
Okay.
or sprinkle it on roasted sweet potatoes or butternut squash.
Oh, okay. I'm getting it now.
Yeah, it's kind of like a secret weapon.
Yeah, to add something a little different.
Exactly.
All right, what about smoothies?
Smoothies. Oh, yeah, that's a great way to sneak it in.
Especially if you're not like a huge fan of the cinnamon taste.
Right.
You can kind of hide it with other fruits and things like that.
Exactly.
Now, this is going to sound weird, but what about cinnamon tea?
Cinnamon tea. Oh, yeah.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing. It's actually very soothing and warming.
Uh,
You can have it plain or add a little honey or lemon.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Like on a cold night, that sounds really good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, now you said something before about making your own cinnamon extract.
Oh, yeah, if you're feeling really ambitious.
Okay, tell me about this.
It's actually pretty easy.
Greg.
You basically just steep cinnamon sticks in vodka or grain alcohol for a few weeks.
Okay.
And then you have this really potent, flavorful extract.
And then what do you do with it?
You can use it in all kinds of recipes.
Like what?
So baked goods, desserts, you can even add it to cocktails.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's fun to experiment with.
So you're not just buying some, manufactured thing.
Right, it's all in
They're
the
making it yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that now I'm thinking about all the cinnamon that I'm consuming.
Right.
And I know that there are some people out there who have maybe some health conditions or they're on medications.
Yeah.
Are there any things that we need to be aware of?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So cinnamon can interact with certain medications,
Okay.
and it can also be a problem for some health conditions. So it's always a good idea to check with your doctor
Yeah.
before you start incorporating a lot of cinnamon into your diet.
Especially if you have a pre-existing condition or
That's
something.
exactly it.
Okay, good to know. Now I think we've pretty much covered it.
Yeah, we've talked about coffee, we've talked about food,
Smoothies.
smoothies, tea extract. Is there anything else we can do with this magical spice?
Oh, I've got one more thing.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Cinnamon's not just for eating and drinking.
Wait, what? There's more?
There's more. You can actually use it in your beauty routine.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
Right.
What are we talking about here?
So remember all those amazing properties that we talked about?
Right.
The anti-inflammatory, the antimicrobial, all of that.
Yeah.
You can actually use cinnamon in homemade beauty products.
Oh.
So think face masks, scrubs, hair treatments, even toothpaste.
Full on cinnamon toothpaste.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Well, might sound strange, but
Yeah.
cinnamon actually has antibacterial properties,
Okay.
which can help with oral health.
I mean, that makes sense.
So you can add a pinch of cinnamon to your regular toothpaste,
Okay.
or you can find natural toothpastes that already have cinnamon oil in them.
Okay.
And some people even mix cinnamon with coconut oil
Wow.
to whiten their teeth.
I'm going to have to try that.
Okay, what about face masks and scrubs?
All right, well, cinnamon can help stimulate blood flow,
Okay.
which can give your skin a nice, healthy glow.
Okay.
It also has astringent properties,
Okay.
which means it can help tighten pores and reduce oiliness.
Oh, that's good.
And then that antimicrobial action can help fight acne-causing bacteria.
Wow, so it's like a multitasker
It really is.
for your skin.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of face mask would you make?
So you can do a simple face mask with cinnamon powder and honey or yogurt.
Okay.
But you do want to be careful because cinnamon can be a little irritating,
Okay.
especially if you have sensitive skin.
So just do a little test first.
Yeah, always do a patch test before you put it all over your face.
Okay. And then what about scrubs?
You can add a sprinkle of cinnamon to your regular sugar scrub
Okay.
for a nice, gentle exfoliating treatment.
And so we're putting it in our coffee, we're putting it in our food, we're putting it on our faces.
Right?
I love that we're talking about using all these things in their natural forms.
Yeah.
Like not some processed thing.
Absolutely. It's all about going back to nature
Yeah.
and using what nature has given us.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got cinnamon in our coffee, in our food, on our face. Is there anything else?
Oh, there's more.
What?
So think about that warm, inviting aroma of cinnamon.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a popular ingredient in aromatherapy.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's always so comforting.
Exactly. So you can diffuse cinnamon essential oil
Okay.
to create a relaxing
I
atmosphere.
like that.
Yeah. And it's also said to boost your mood and give you energy.
Ooh.
So it's kind of a nice pick-me-up.
Yeah.
But just make sure you're using a high-quality essential oil
Okay.
and follow the instructions for your diffuser.
Okay. And I have one more fun fact for you.
Okay, lay it on me.
Cinnamon is a natural insect repellent.
Oh, wow.
I know.
I did not know that.
So you can sprinkle cinnamon around your house
Okay.
to keep ants and other pests away.
That's amazing.
It's like the ultimate multitasker.
It really is.
You can eat it, you can drink it, you can put it on your face, you can diffuse it, you can keep bugs away with it.
Right?
I feel like we need a whole week dedicated to cinnamon.
I know. It's amazing.
But before we get too carried away, I do want to remind everyone that cinnamon can interact with certain medications
Right.
and some health conditions.
It's very important.
So please talk to your doctor before you start incorporating tons of cinnamon into your diet.
Especially if you have any concerns.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So be smart about it.
Be smart about it.
Okay, well, I think we've officially covered just about every aspect of cinnamon that we could possibly think of.
I think so. We've gone from coffee to cooking to beauty to bugs.
I know this has been amazing.
It's been a journey.
I know. I am so excited to start putting all of this into practice.
Yes, me too.
But now I think it's time to take a step back
Okay.
and think about what cinnamon really means to us.
Yeah.
You know, we've been talking about all the practical stuff.
Right.
But what does it represent?
That's a great question.
You know, what memories does it evoke?
Yeah.
What feelings does it bring up?
I think for a lot of people, cinnamon represents warmth and comfort.
Right.
Maybe it reminds them of holidays or family gatherings.
Baking.
Baking, exactly.
So I'm going to turn it over to you, our listener. What does cinnamon mean to you?
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
We've been talking so much about, you know, all the things that you can do with cinnamon.
Right, all the amazing things.
But now I kind of just want to step back and think about cinnamon itself.
Okay.
You know, Like, what does it represent to you?
Oh, that's a good question.
We've been thinking about all the practical applications.
Right, all the things you can do with it.
But what about the emotional connection?
That's interesting.
So think about it for a minute. What comes to mind when you think about cinnamon?
Yeah, when you smell it.
When you taste it?
What do you think of?
What memories does it bring up?
Maybe it's something from your childhood.
Yeah, like baking with your grandma.
Right, those warm memories
Well,
of family and tradition.
or maybe it reminds you of traveling.
Oh, yeah.
Like that spice market that you went to.
The smells.
Yeah, the smells.
The color.
So it doesn't have to be a specific memory. It can just be a feeling.
Exactly, an emotion.
And I think that's what's so cool about cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's more than just a spice.
It's an experience.
Right, and that's what we've been trying to do in this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's not just about giving you information.
Right.
It's about helping you connect with these things in a new way.
Absolutely. To see them in a different light.
And ultimately, to make your life a little bit richer.
Yeah, to appreciate the little things.
Exactly.
Wow.
I think we've officially reached the end of our cinnamon journey.
It's been a fun one.
It has been. I have learned so much,
Me too.
and I'm so excited to go out there and put all of this into practice.
Yes, me too.
So thank you for joining us on this cinnamon adventure.
We hope you enjoyed it.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those cinnamon stories coming.
We'll see you next time.